Yeah, it'd help if my mic was on. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to America's new golden age, day 2. But my mic was off. I said, duh. Good thing I caught my mic being off. Such a boomer. So, what's going on, everybody, this Tuesday afternoon? Little chilly out there. I can tell you in the great state of Florida right now, where I'm at, it's 54 degrees, which is parka weather down here. But I understand some folks across southeastern Texas into Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, even to the panhandle of Florida, they're going to get some snow. In fact, they're going to get some pretty big snow, which some people will say, oh, it's global warming, it's climate change. I'd say, no, it's not. It's not global warming. It's not climate change. At least I'll say this. Climate change is real. Man-made climate change is fake. I'll just put it out there for everyone to see. So, we had the inauguration yesterday, and I did try to stream it. YouTube shut it down, said I was under copyright. I appealed. They reviewed. Now, what was most of that live stream is up on the channel. If you caught me over on Rumble or on X, I did live stream through the inauguration through. I don't think I got all of Trump's speech, though, which I'm going to cover in a second, along with a couple other tidbits from yesterday. The loony left. Well, all I can say is they've gone absolutely off the deep end, and they're really attacking Elon. I mean, what they're saying about Elon's speech yesterday and that little gesture he made, get over yourselves. If you watch the whole thing, if you watch it in context, he didn't do what you're saying they did. He didn't do what you all are saying he did. Okay? And I'll have a few examples of what they're saying, including the full video, the full context of that. What else we got here? We had a national title game last night, which surprisingly ESPN showed a quick video from President Trump during the broadcast. I'm surprised that they did that. What else went on yesterday? Oh, during the inauguration, Gayle King over at CBS. Yeah, she thought she had a gotcha. Of course, she had to interject race into the inauguration. No surprise there. God, what else went on yesterday? It was I mean, the 200 executive orders that he signed, which was absolutely insane that he signed that many executive orders. And basically erasing everything that Biden had done with the stroke of a pen. Hold on here while I'm typing a message. Get this out of the way. Oh, let's see what else we got here. Why don't I start with this? And this just popped up literally on my feed just a couple of minutes ago. But Harry Sisson. Hey, Harry, how you doing today, bud? Getting any more of those DNC paychecks? Harry Sisson. He put out this video over on TikTok. Yes, TikTok is back. Trump issued an executive order restoring TikTok. They have, I think it's 75 days to be 50% American owned. Otherwise, it'll go bye-bye again. So here's Harry Sisson, and I can't believe he's still putting these videos out. The checks must not be bouncing. Dude, do you have any idea how this shit works? Egg prices have not come down. Gas prices have not come down. These things take time, dude. These things take time. They will come down. First thing, though, is we got to get our energy situation taken care of. We need to start producing oil again. I'm not saying that we can't do wind and solar and those types of things to produce energy, but we got to get the oil flowing. We got to get the oil pumping. We have to become a net exporter again and start making money off of our oil supply. And when that happens, guess what? Oil prices come down, gas prices come down, grocery prices come down, and we can stretch our checkbooks just a little bit further. And not only that, but the dude's only been in office for 25 hours. So stuff it. Let's continue. Again, we got to get our energy situation in order. Look at smug. You do realize immediately, according to the government, is usually months, if not years. But what do I know? He didn't threaten war with Panama. In his speech, he said that China is running the Panama Canal. China was not given the Panama Canal, or actually was sold to them for $1, this country of Panama, back in 1979. And we need to take it back. That's all he said, is we need to take it back. We need to be running it again. And he'll work out a deal to do that. War with Panama. Give me a break. Trump's first presidency, what was one of the hallmarks of President Trump's first term in office? No new wars. Okay, I'm going to get into that here in a little bit, because that is a bunch of malarkey. To borrow a phrase from Joe Biden, who you worship the ground he walks on there, Harry. He wants to talk about getting played. The only person that got played, Harry, is you. Okay? You're the one that got played. Not those of us that voted for Donald Trump to be the 47th president. You got played, dude. Again, it's been 25 hours and 12 minutes. And you're already, he's reneging on his promises. He didn't do anything he promised he would do. Contraire, contraire, mon frere. I think I said that right. Have I got news for you there, Harry? Have I got news for you? We're already being, we were embarrassed for the last 4 years. But again, if I was making Harry's money, I'd probably go out and say some stupid shit too. But I'm not making Harry's money. And by the way, Harry, I hope you keep doing what you're doing. Please. Keep doing what you're doing. Because people just laugh at you. They scoff at you. They don't believe you. And the ones that do are broken beyond repair. We tried to warn all of you. Donald Trump is an embarrassment. Oh, Donald Trump. We tried to warn you. So that's Harry J. Sisson. I like how Yellow Flash said turbo faggot. And then Valiant Renegade. So that's his new favorite term. Yeah. I have to like that and I have to retweet it. I can't help it. That's just priceless. I thought Harry went away. I thought we weren't going to hear from him again. Like I said earlier, I guess those checks aren't bouncing. As long as he can cash those checks, he'll go out there and spew the crap that he spews. So, as Harry referenced in his little TikTok video here, Elon caught a bunch of flack last night, and all I'm going to say is, for those of you on the left, stop. Just stop. People aren't buying the BS you're selling anymore. So, this was last night, CNN. CNN anchors imply Elon Musk gave a Nazi salute at Trump inaugural rally. Uh-oh. CNN anchors on Monday implied that Tesla CEO Elon Musk had done a Nazi salute while speaking before a crowd of Trump supporters during the day's inaugural events. This happened at the Capital One Arena. I think it was late Monday afternoon, early Monday evening. An excited Musk took the stage at Capital One Arena on Monday and told attendees, "This is what victory feels like. This was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. There are elections that come and go. Some elections are important, some are not, but this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. My heart goes out to you." And when you watch this video, you can plainly see what he is doing, but listen to the commentators at CNN. Hold on a second. I want to see if they show it. Oh, here we go. So this is the full. I'm going to cut to the full. Here's the spot. Maybe. That's it right there. That's it. That's it. Caught it. My bad for taking so long to catch it. But that's it right there. So he was throwing his heart out to people, and he just had his arm turned the wrong way. It was quick, and our viewers are smart, and they can take a look at that and interpret that. We're telling you what it is. Your lying eyes deceive you. We're telling you what it is. When the reality is, it wasn't what they said it was. So, Elon then puts this out. Frankly, they need better dirty tricks. The everyone is Hitler attack is so tired. Yes, it's tired. It's boring. It's beyond boring. They've gone to that well so much, whether it's calling a person a racist, a misogynist, a bigot, a homophobe, a Nazi, whatever the case may be, whatever slur you want to throw on somebody's name. It's tiring. It's boring. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't have the same gravity that it used to because it's been overused. Now, Representative Nadler, Jerry Nadler, put this out there. I never imagined we would see the day when what appears to be a Heil Hitler salute would be made behind the presidential seal. This abhorrent gesture has no place in our society and belongs in the darkest chapters of human history. I urge all of my colleagues to unite in condemning this hateful gesture for what it is, anti-Semitism. Well, Jerry, Representative Nadler, what about these guys? Right here. What about these guys? What about these guys? Are you going to condemn them? No, I don't think you are. Because they have a D behind their name. Well, this guy doesn't, even though he should, because he's nothing more than propaganda mouthpiece for the left. Stephen Colbert. he just hates ballet. But yeah. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on and on. We can go back and forth. The fact of the matter is they have nothing. Zip, zero, nada. Nothing. Oh man, today's a great day. Yesterday was a great day. Today's a great day. Tomorrow will be a great day. It's going to be an awesome day. Today's already been an awesome day. And I'll get to it here in a second. I mentioned Gayle King. This actually happened yesterday during the inauguration. So, during CBS News coverage of the inauguration of Donald J. Trump, you can see the crowd. Small crowd. And I actually had to pull this from Facebook because it was the first source that came up. But I'll just play the video. Let you guys decide. Here we go. Really? I don't see enough people of color? Uh-oh, something went wrong. Uh-oh. Facebook probably didn't like what I was doing. So, we have an inauguration of the President of the United States. The people in attendance are mostly dignitaries, members of the House, members of the Senate, Supreme Court justices. We had our techies there. Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Cook, Jeff Bezos and his girlfriend. We had the CEO of Google, I forget his name. Elon, of course, was there. And they show this big, wide shot from the background, and all they can think about is, this crowd's not very diverse. I'm not seeing enough people of color there. Really? You're going to insert race? And I know it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I get it. I understand. But why is it that everything has to boil down to color of someone's skin? Why? Why does it have to boil down to that? I mean, it's not all about skin color. It's not about white privilege. It's not about being born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Can somebody answer me that? Why is it about color? I mean, geesh. I mean, I hadn't even given it a second thought myself. But you know, what do I know? So there was that. So with all the executive orders that the president signed yesterday, one of the one that caught the most attention, at least in my book, was the one about the J6ers. He pardoned or commuted sentences of all the J6ers. Now, some people are saying he shouldn't have done that because that makes it look bad because he released some bad people. Some bad people got released with the good ones. Here's the thing. I would much rather have a few bad apples released than have one innocent person spend any more time in jail for January 6th. And as far as some of these people that are coming out and saying that, and I'll get to it here in a second because there's been a couple. Nancy Pelosi's one of them. that he's overstepped his bounds and he's just trampling on the Constitution and the rule of law. Well, what did Joe Biden do yesterday before he officially left office? He issued preemptive pardons to Anthony Fauci, Liz Cheney and the J6 committee, Capitol police officers, General Mark Milley, just to name a few. His entire family. That one was announced during Trump's speech at his inauguration. So, don't give me any crap about the Constitution and rule of law. Because Biden, and I know the president has the authority to do it, to pardon individuals, but Biden showed that these people can do things on behalf of the president, some pretty bad things, and then get pardoned for it, and nothing's going to happen to them. So I'm going to play this little video from Alex Jones. And this was when he did the pardon for the J6 political prisoners. I love how he writes everything in a Sharpie. Now, some of them did get released last night. There was some that didn't get released till today. I'm sure there's more that'll probably be released, if not last night, today, in the coming days. But that was a big one. That was a big one. That was the other big one. The southern border. So that's some of what went on yesterday after the inauguration. Now, one of my favorite things was from yesterday, and I'll have to find it here after I close a few tabs, was during the what I want to call it, the gathering at Capital One Arena, where Elon spoke, President Trump again spoke, and they had a desk and chair set up, and he started signing executive orders right then and there, which was quite awesome to see. So here we go. This is from Breitbart. So much winning. Trump keeps promises on day one. The list. So this is what he did on day one. Restoring names that honor American greatness. Mount McKinley. The Gulf of Mexico is now the Gulf of America, which, by the way, if you were watching the inauguration, when he announced that in his inaugural speech, Hillary Clinton started laughing. Which that reminds me, by the way, his speech, the way he called these people out that were there in the room was magnifique. I mean, he called them out to their faces. Of course, some of them were sitting behind him. Designating cartels and other organizations as foreign terrorist organizations and specifically designated global terrorists. That's going to open up some executive powers for him to deal with the southern border. Guaranteeing states' protection against invasion, reforming the federal hiring process, and restoring merit to government service, as everything should be about merit. Whether you're in the government as an employee, whether you're in the private sector as an employee, no matter if you're a small business, a huge enterprise, or a massive corporation, everything should be about merit. DEI has to go. Period. End of story. Full stop. DEI has to go. Ending radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing. Just like I said, DEI, bye-bye. See you later. Defending women from gender ideology extremism and restoring biological truth to the federal government. Establishing and implementing the President's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, which I'm sad to hear that Vivek has stepped back from DOGE, but I hope DOGE goes in and just shrinks the size of government. Our government was never designed to be as big and wide and as intrusive as the federal government is now. It was never designed to be that way. America First policy directive to the Secretary of State, which Marco Rubio was the first member of his cabinet to be confirmed and took the oath of office yesterday, I believe. Hopefully the others shortly follow. Protecting the United States from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats. That can be tied into the southern border. Unleashing Alaska's extraordinary resource potential. That's what I was talking about just a few minutes ago, about getting our energy situation straightened out and getting back to where we're pumping oil and being a net exporter instead of a net importer. Protecting the American people against invasion. Again, southern border. Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, global tax deal. Not sure what that is. Let's take a look at that. Oh, okay. I'd have to read this one to figure out what it is. But that's okay. That could be another stream where I actually go in depth on these. Maybe. Possibly. I like giving broad overview, broad strokes, general opinion. I don't like to get into the weeds too much unless it's something that I really am passionate about. Organization of the National Security Council and subcommittees. Okay, reevaluating and realigning United States foreign aid. Yeah, that definitely needs to be done. Temporary withdrawal of all areas on the outer continental shelf from offshore wind leasing and review of the federal government's leasing and permitting practices for wind projects. Yes, that is a big one. As I said earlier, this country was built on oil and also coal, but oil, petroleum. It's in 95% of everything that we own, do, produce, whatever. petroleums and plastics. For example, gas for our cars, oil for our cars. And wind and solar are great, but those need to be done in conjunction with oil. I'd even go one step further myself. I'd say nuclear. Nuclear is the cleanest form of energy, but notice how we don't do any nuclear plants. And we should be. We should have nuclear plants in every state. You want to see the cost of energy go down. Build a nuclear power plant in every state, at least one, if not 2 or 3, depending on the size of your state. And watch energy prices plummet. That's just my opinion. You can agree with me on that. You can disagree with me on that. That's fine. But that's my opinion. Let's see here. What else we got? Oh yeah. As far as the wind farms go, you know, wind energy is great, but look what happens to birds. Look what happens to wildlife when it comes to wind farms. When it comes to solar, look what happens to wildlife in those areas versus a pipeline where wildlife thrives and grows near a pipeline versus what's happening to whales in these offshore wind farms. When one of these windmills goes down and breaks, the fluids that leak out into the ocean and the damage it does to the ocean. And I'm not getting all green on you folks. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying about getting green. It is what it is. Declaring a national energy emergency. That's back to drill, baby, drill. Restoring accountability for career senior executives. Okay. Promoting beautiful federal civic architecture. Okay. Restoring the death penalty and protecting public safety. Okay. Putting people over fish. Oh, yes. I haven't said much about the fires out in Southern California. But the reason why they didn't have the water that was needed to combat the fires was because of a fish. It wasn't just because the reservoirs weren't full. It was because of a fish. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, but instead, Governor Newsom wants to blame everybody else. It's everybody else's fault. Securing our borders. Again, southern border. Protecting the meaning and value of American citizenship. Realigning the United States refugee admissions program. I think that ties into the CP1 app that has now been deactivated. That was the free pass for illegal immigrants to just come on into this country. Along with, them getting bus rides and plane rides all over the country. So CP1 app, done. It's done. It's out. Unleashing American energy, that gets back to oil. Clarifying the military's role in protecting the territorial integrity of the United States. Okay. America First trade policy. Tariffs. Just going to say it. Tariffs. Tariffs, if done properly and used as a tool, can greatly benefit this country and our economy. Not to mention the fact it could also allow us to end the income tax. It's my opinion. You can agree with me. You can disagree with me. That's fine. National emergency at the southern border. Resolve the backlog of security clearances for executive office of the presidential personnel. holding former government officials accountable for election interference and improper disclosure of sensitive governmental information. Restoring accountability to policy influencing positions within the federal workforce, withdrawing the United States from the World Health Organization. Yeah, the WHO would like their $500 million back. That's a big one, because the WHO, they want to take over healthcare decisions for everybody, regardless of what your government says. That's an oversimplification, but that's really what they want to do. They want to be the ones to say, hey, there's a pandemic. Okay, here's what you're going to do, and then dictate the terms of what you're going to do during that pandemic, regardless of what your government stance is. I know it's an oversimplification, but it's out there. Application Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act to TikTok. That's the TikTok extension. Pardons and commutation sentences for certain offenses relating to the events at or near the United States Capitol on January 6th. Already covered that. Putting America first, international environmental agreements. Oh, yeah, we got out of the Paris climate deal. I mean, seriously, China, India, they're not abiding by it, so why should we? Why should we have to compete with one arm tied behind our back when it comes to the economy of the world? Delivering emergency price relief for American families and defeating the cost of living crisis. That's what Harry was referring to. Yep. Egg prices down. Grocery prices down. That's not how it works, Harry. Too bad, Harry. The hiring freeze of the federal government. Regulatory freeze pending review. That's the other thing. Cut regulations. Cut the red tape. I'm a big proponent of cutting red tape. I tried to cut red tape in my former job. I tried. Return to in-person work. I'm 50-50 on that. I know some people love remote work. I love remote work. I love working remotely. I feel like I accomplish just as much or not more working at home on my own in my home office here than I do if I had to go to the office every day. But some people believe that in-person work is better, and that's fine. Ending the weaponization of the federal government. That goes to those pesky court cases and whatnot that President Trump had to go through for the last 3-4 years. Restoring freedom of speech and ending federal censorship. I'm going to get into that here in a second because I got a good story for you guys from last night. Flying the flag of the United States at full staff on Inauguration Day. President Trump designates chairman and acting chairman. President Trump announces acting cabinet and cabinet level positions. President Trump announces sub-cabinet appointments. President Trump announces cabinet and cabinet level appointments. So that's a lot for the first, 12, 13 hours in office. That is a lot. Joe Pollak put out the full list of Trump's executive orders on day one. Rescinding 78 executive orders by President Joe Biden. Revocations include Biden's order to make equity rather than equality the focus of federal policy. Just so you guys know, that's part of DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Including illegal aliens on the census. Illegal aliens should not be included on a U.S. census. They are not citizens of this country. A census is for the citizens of the country. Mandates and restrictions from COVID. This is a hot button topic. Transgender individuals to serve in the military. Ban private prisons. Prioritize climate change to ease immigration enforcement. I said it earlier. Climate change is real. Man-made climate change is fake. Reminds me of a t-shirt. Wrestling is real. People are fake. Any wrestling fans out there know who put that out? Anyone? Bueller? Biden's order to revoke sanctions on the International Criminal Court. Biden's order to establish a court packing commission to make the Supreme Court permanently liberal. That's the golden goose of the progressive left, the liberal Democrats. They want to pack the Supreme Court. They want to add more seats. To that I say, how about no? It's fine where it's at 9 justices. Biden's order to prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion in federal hiring. Bye. Restrict offshore oil and gas development. That was done for a reason. Because we got to produce green energy. Biden's order to impose sanctions on his Israelis linked to the political right. Biden's order to rescind Cuba's designation as a state sponsor of terrorism. And Biden's order to revoke many of Trump's executive orders from his first term. You know, executive orders are great and all, but if it was me as president of the United States, day one, get into office, I would write an executive order rescinding, I'd say, the majority of past executive orders. And then I would write an executive order permanently banning executive orders, which would in turn make Congress do their job and not be fundraising 24/7, 365 for their next election campaign. Because a lot of this stuff Congress should be doing and voting on and the president signing into law. A lot of this stuff shouldn't even have to be a law or an executive order because it's common freaking sense, which we have seemed to lost in our country. Did I just say lost in our country? I said we've lost in our country. Let's see here. John Bolton lost his national security clearance, as well as the 51 other national security people that said the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. Good. General Milley's portrait has been removed at the Pentagon. Good. What else is going on? There's a lot that happened yesterday. I'm just kind of scrolling through here because there's a lot. You know what? Let me get to this because I gotta call this out. I gotta say something about this. You know, the internet can be a mean place. So this was yesterday. Culture Crave put this out. Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube have all signed the EU's pledge to do more to stop hate speech. Hate speech. Okay? So, I put out there and said, oh, there's no such thing as hate speech, which there really isn't. There's no such thing as hate speech. There's opinion, but what happens is if somebody doesn't agree with your opinion, it automatically goes to hate speech. And that's just my opinion. So after I put that out there, I immediately, yes, there is. We're here. I got called a cracker. You spent 12 hours today reposting Nazi propaganda. Be quiet, cracker. Nobody cares how you feel. There it is. You could just as well said there's no such thing as an American president. Both are terms created by people and codified by laws. Sounds like something a white supremacist would say. How can you actually believe this? The Oxford Dictionary says you're wrong. Open a dictionary. That's what a Nazi would say. There's a thing called hate speech. See, it went on and on and on and on and on. Which is fine. Give me the engagement. That's fine. I'll take the engagement. But my point being is the people that were blasting me about how there's hate speech were basically doing hate speech. Calling me a Nazi. That's hate speech. Calling me a cracker. That's hate speech. And really, hate speech is opinion. So I will gladly get flamed for my opinion online. I really don't care. I used to take things personally. I don't anymore. And there's a reason why I don't anymore. Because the internet's not real. The internet's not reality. So I just had to get that off my chest. You know, I have spent more time on X, posting, replying, being a reply guy. And I'm going to continue to be a reply guy and put my opinion out there. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, that's fine. You can call me whatever name you want to call me. I don't care. That's fine. Call me names. Just because I support President Trump, just because you don't like him, doesn't make me a Nazi or him a Nazi or whatever. See, because the beauty of it is I don't see color when I shake somebody's hand, when I'm talking to somebody. I don't see gender when I'm talking to somebody, when I'm interacting with someone. Why? Because there's no need for it. Now, when I'm interacting with you, I can usually tell really quick if I'm going to like you or dislike you for one reason or another. But see, I'm 53 years old. Going to be 54 this year. And I don't play those games with people. And I'm not going to get dragged into an argument on any social media platform, on the internet, because all you have is name calling. Now, if you want to have a intellectual conversation, I'll be more than happy to have an intellectual conversation. And if we disagree, I'll be more than happy to say, you know what? Let's disagree and part ways, part friends, whatever. But I'm not going to argue with you online because you're calling me names. And I just wanted to point that out because I found it freaking hilarious last night that I said there's no such thing as hate speech, and immediately I got called a Nazi, a cracker, a bigot, whatever the case may be. So, fine, whatever. That's fine. I don't care. Now, getting back to more things that have happened here on day 2 of America's Golden Age. Trump announces purge of over 1,000 Biden appointees. That's right. You're fired. See, what are the lessons that President Trump learned after his first term? And keep in mind, when he won the election back in 2016 and he took office in January 2017, he didn't expect to win. He had no idea what he was walking into. He trusted a lot of people that he shouldn't have trusted to be part of his administration. And him not winning in 2020 was a blessing in disguise. The reason why? Because it allowed him to take what he had learned from the first go around, figure out where he went wrong and the mistakes that were made, and fix those mistakes. That's why you had Don Jr., I think Eric Trump, Tulsi, RFK Jr., all part of his team to put together his administration for this second term in office. And that's why you see things like this. Trump announces purge of over 1,000 Biden appointees. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. President Trump started purging more than 1,000 appointees from former President Joe Biden's administration overnight, starting with celebrity chef Jose Andres and embattled retired General Mark Milley. The new commander-in-chief fired off the official notice of dismissal to 4 Biden appointees in a midnight social media post, bluntly warning that his team were hunting down even more to throw out of office. Yeah, the day of the unelected bureaucrat is over. It's over. It's done. Our first day in the White House is not over yet, but presidential Personnel Office is actively in the process of identifying and removing over 1,000 presidential appointees from the previous administration who are not aligned with our vision to make America great again. Trump posted on Truth Social. Let this serve as official notice of dismissal for these 4 individuals, with many more coming soon. See, what generally happens in Washington is that you get a lot of holdovers from administration to administration. Yeah, the incoming president does bring his own people in, but there are a lot of holdovers that just, ride the wave from one administration to the next, to the next, to the next. And some of those people just don't align with what you're trying to accomplish as president of the United States. So those people have to go bye-bye. And he brings in people that align with his vision, with what he wants to do, with what he wants to accomplish. And so the day of the unelected bureaucrat is over. Among the first to be booted was Milley, who was given preemptive pardon by Joe Biden. Remember, Mark Milley is the one that said that if things would escalate with China, he would call China to give them a head up behind the president's back, which is, I don't know, treason. Milley, the former Joint Chief of Staff, had publicly called Trump a wannabe dictator. Trump, on his part, previously suggested Milley should be executed for holding back channel talks with China. And I will say this, Mark Milley did serve in the Trump administration before he served with Biden. So Trump probably should have gotten rid of him and fired him the first go around. Trump also said he was dismissing Andres, a renowned Spanish-American chef who was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Biden from the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. Andres, who had a beef with Trump, was once meant to open a restaurant in Trump's D.C. hotel, but backed out after the president likened Mexicans to criminals and racists. The pair battled it out in court and eventually settled. Let's see here. Former diplomat Brian Hook was removed from the Wilson Center for Scholars, and former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms was removed from the President's Export Council. Now, his executive order for the return to work at the office, I think you're going to see a lot of attrition there. You are going to see a lot of attrition when it comes to that right there. So that was this morning, actually late last night and this morning. Oh, I haven't mentioned this yet, but during the inauguration, Carrie Underwood sang God Bless America. Was it God Bless America? Oh, America the Beautiful. That's it. Now, I'll tell you what. Carrie Underwood puts Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande to shame. Okay? Carrie Underwood and her rendition of America the Beautiful yesterday, a cappella, I might add, because there was an issue with the backtrack, the music, was just mwah. And for anybody to criticize her, and that is absolutely insane. So I'm not surprised that Ariana Grande would like a post that was, negative toward Carrie Underwood's performance, because Ariana Grande was a supporter of Kamala Harris. Funny how all this just kind of ties together and ropes around. And so this is the post. Pull it up here. Maybe. Possibly. Kamala Harris evoking Coco Montrose. Girl finding a note. Watching Carrie Underwood at today's chilling inauguration. And Ariana Grande liked that post. First things first. Can somebody please get Ariana Grande a cheeseburger? She looks sick. She looks ill. Secondly, I'm going to play a quick snippet here because I don't know if YouTube will hit me for copyright on this if I play this. Let me see if I can. Here we go. I'm going to play a quick little bit of this, depending on how long it is. I don't want to have to cut this out, but here we go. Doesn't Kamala look pissed there? She does not look happy to be there. Of course, you wouldn't either if you lost an election. Now, I did see a post yesterday, and it'd be too hard for me to find it now, but somebody said, if that performance was so good, why was Carrie Underwood urging everybody to clap for her? She wasn't urging everybody to clap for her. She was showing praise to everybody that bothered to sing with her. Huge difference. Huge difference. So I'd like to see Ariana Grande pull that off. I'd like to see Taylor Swift pull that off. Sorry, but Carrie Underwood is better than Ariana Grande and Taylor Swift. Just saying. Let's see here. What else we got? right. I gotta find this. I have to find this. Ha, 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 ha. Um. How I want to search for this. Yelling, 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 yelling. So, yesterday. Oh, this is awesome. So, yesterday, I think this happened in San Francisco. It might have happened all over. But groups of people all over the place are going out there and doing group screams because Trump is president. That's an old video. I need to do videos, and I need to do within the last 24 hours. Where's it at? I saw the video and I don't have it, but basically there was a group of people outside of San Francisco that got together and they did a group scream because Trump had been inaugurated president. And here, this might be it right here. This might be it right here. Nope, that's an old video from November. That was after the election. God, I wish I would have. I can't find it. Maybe this is it. This is it. This is ridiculous. That isn't the one I was looking for. The one I was looking for was a group of women yesterday outside of San Francisco. They were up on a hillside and they were all screaming because Trump had just been inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States. And I can't help but laugh. I mean, it is so just so ridiculous. Your person lost. Deal with it. To have to go out and I gotta go out and scream. I just had to bring it up. I can't help it. I had to bring it up. What else we got out there? So what's this? DC jail holding out on releasing J6ers after Trump issues pardons. This is Julie Kelly. You know, I got to give a shout out to Julie Kelly because she has done incredible work as it pertains to the J6ers and what some of them have been going through and what they've been going through with their court cases. And I don't know if she'll ever see this. I did post or reply to her post earlier, just thanking her for the work that she's been doing the last few years when it comes to J6 and some of the people that have been wrongly incarcerated for J6. Thank you. Thank you for the work you've put in, all that you have done, and shining a light into the darkness when it comes to some of these J6 cases. But let's take a look at this article from the Post Millennial, shall we? On President Trump's first day back in office, he signed pardons for around 1,500 people charged and arrested in connection with January 6th. As of Tuesday morning, journalist Julie Kelly told Steve Bannon that D.C. jail housing some of those who have been pardoned is holding back on their release. Now, this isn't anything new because perusing social media last night and this morning, I did see quite a few posts of people wondering why their family, friends, loved ones have not been released yet. And there was one video in particular, and I'd have a hard time finding it right now, where the corrections officer was very smug, saying that there'll be no releases tonight. You'll have to come back tomorrow. Which I'm gonna play both sides here. One side of me says, no, the President of the United States just issued a pardon for immediate release. So go do your job and release these people. On the flip side, it was a national holiday. And being that it was a national holiday, it was probably minimal staff at these prisons that can deal with the paperwork on releasing people. So I can see both sides of this. But now it's Tuesday, January 21st, and we have a jail in D.C. not releasing people? Are you flipping kidding me? Kelly told Bannon that in the wake of those pardons, J6ers are gradually being released from federal prisons across the country. Of course, DC Gulag is holding out because that's what they do, because this is a political gulag. So they're going to do whatever they can to extend the torment of Trump supporters in custody there. She added that she has seen really moving videos and photographs of men and women who are being released from federal prison who are cutting off their ankle bracelets. You know, this is really such a joyous moment. Outside the DC jail, Ben Berquam, I hope I pronounced that right, spoke with William Sarsfield, who had been released from the Philadelphia detention center at around 3 a.m. on Tuesday and traveled to DC to join the protest outside the jail. Sarsfield told Berquam, "We got to stick together. Where we go one, we go all. It don't matter who's in front of us, it's who's going to stop us. We'll just walk right over them. We're here to stay and we're free, and the rest of us need to be freed." One of those who's reportedly being prevented from being released is Rachel Powell. Cynthia Hughes, founder of the Patriot Freedom Project, wrote that she had received a call at 3 a.m. to pick up Powell. She and others went to D.C. to pick her up, waiting until 4:30 a.m., but the jail was not releasing her. They said to come back at 7 a.m., and here it is 10:20, and they are still refusing to release her. Hughes said Powell had been held at FCI Hazleton in West Virginia, but in the D.C. jail because of sentencing hearing. We are in a 98% Democratic district where they hate Trump and his supporters. The officer literally said they had to verify the president's executive order. What? They had to verify the president's executive order. He signed the damn executive order on television. I have an idea. How about fire every one of those individuals working in that jail immediately? And replace them with some people with common sense. Verify an executive order from the president. What the hell? This low-level, broken, and corrupt jail needs a thorough investigation immediately. Charlie Kirk, founder of TPUSA, wrote a response over on X. Outrageous. They're refusing to release J6 prisoners just pardoned by President Trump. There must be very severe accountability for D.C. if they refuse to comply with the law. Tim Hale, who went to D.C. with Hughes, said that they tried calling a number from 3 different phones and were hung up on, transferred, and given the runaround repeatedly. So they're playing games in D.C. Not a surprise. Same as New York. They play games in New York too. This is outrageous. The president has signed an executive order to release these people from jail. So you release these people from jail. It's not hard. And if you don't want to release them, fine, we'll fire you and we'll bring somebody else in that will do the job. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. Coast Guard Commandant ousted over border failures, recruitment, excessive DEI. Telling you, DEI is going away, people. It is going away. It's not going to go away quietly, but it is going to go away. I mentioned earlier some of the attendees: Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, his girlfriend. I forget the CEO of Google's name. Elon. Tim Cook was there. Mark Zuckerberg was checking out Jeff Bezos' girlfriend. Just saying. Kind of giving her the, oh, look at you. What else can we talk about while we're here? Captain America: Brave New World. That is going to be a train wreck. I'm reserving judgment on that movie is going to be any good or not. But all indications are that Captain America: Brave New World, with a budget reportedly somewhere between $350 and $375 million, is going to be a huge L for Disney and Marvel. It's going to be bad. I did a video on it, released that video this morning. If you haven't seen it, check it out. YouTube and Rumble, both. It's on both platforms. It's a train wreck. I generally will not provide a opinion on a movie or a TV show without watching it. But I will report what others have said about said movies or TV shows. And I will report numbers such as box office numbers, budgets, ratings. But I generally don't do any type of review or opinion piece on a movie or TV show without seeing it at least once, if not twice. Like right now, I'm back into Netflix's Daredevil from 15 years ago or 10 years ago or however long ago it was. I'm rewatching that right now to get ready for Daredevil Born Again, which is going to be out, I think, in March. So I can't wait to see that because I think it's not even a I don't even think it's a remake, a reboot, whatever. I think it's an extension of the original series that was released on Netflix 10, 15 years ago. And it does look like it's season 4, at least to me. Others have said the same thing. I'm hopefully optimistic that we don't get a bait and switch because Disney's been known to do that. So I'm rewatching Daredevil, the Netflix series Daredevil. Just trying to see what else is going on here. This is interesting. Paul Schrader says he asked ChatGPT for film ideas, and they were all original and fleshed out. Why should writers sit around for months when AI could provide one in seconds? Wow. I know there was a lot of talk around the writer's strike about AI, and I can tell you the writer's strike that happened last year, some of those people were using AI. Just saying. But this is huge because this could, if true, this could put a lot of writers out of work. Paul Schrader sounding off in support of using ChatGPT to come up with ideas for films. A recent Facebook post, the Taxi Driver writer and first Reformed director said he asked the AI platform to generate plots for movies by famous filmmakers, including himself, and was impressed with the results. I'm stunned. I just asked ChatGPT for an idea for a Paul Schrader film, then Paul Thomas Anderson, then Quentin Tarantino, then Harmony Korine, then Ingmar Bergman, then Rossellini, Lang, Scorsese, on and on and on and on and on. Every idea ChatGPT came up with in a few seconds was good and original and fleshed out. Why should writers sit around for months searching for a good idea when AI could provide one in seconds? That would be huge. That would be huge. Uh, 100% tariffs on China. Yeah. Why not? Why not? There should be tariffs on China. Trump tosses pins to the audience after signing executive orders on climate change, free speech, inflation, and others. You know, that would be awesome to catch one of those. I'm sure somebody would probably put one up on eBay. Let's see what else we got going on here. I'm running out of stuff. I'm running out of steam. Oh, back to the Elon Musk Nazi salute. Yeah, I knew as soon as that happened, the media would run with it. And the lefties would run with it. I knew it would happen. Sonic 3 is now streaming. Huh. If you haven't seen Sonic 3, watch the first two, then go watch Sonic 3. Sonic 3 is pretty good, folks. I liked it. Went and saw it on Christmas Day. It was a fun movie. I'm just looking for ideas. See if we can get some new stories here. Marvel character cut from Captain America Brave New World after reshoots. Oh, I covered this in a video. It was Seth Rollins' character. He was part of the Serpent Society. His character was cut after reshoots, and Seth came out and said, don't go watch the movie. So, there you go. For you sports fans out there, the Chicago Bears, they have a new head coach. Ben Johnson, former offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions, is now the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. The Bears got their man. I was hoping they would really go in the direction of an established coach to fix the culture inside the organization, because it's a mess right now. But if Ben Johnson can do the job, brings in a competent staff, then, hey, as a Bears fan, all right, more power to him. I hope they fix the O-line, though. Without the O-line, it doesn't matter what quarterback you have back there. Your quarterback's going to get just annihilated without a good O-line. Oh, what else we got? Frasier got canceled. Oh, I never really watched it, so I like the character, though. I liked watching Cheers back in the day. I did watch Creature Commandos on HBO Max or whatever it's called now. It was decent. I like the animation. James Gunn couldn't help himself, though, by inserting some politics into it a little bit. But otherwise, it was okay. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Let's see here. don't really think there's much else to cover. Oh, I do have to get this in. This is just priceless. Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. You know, the same Mark Hamill that told people to go force themselves. The same Mark Hamill that was all giddy when he got a pair of Joe Biden's aviators and stood in front of the press corps with the aviators on, thinking he was all cool. Well, Mark Hamill announces he will protest Trump's inauguration by quitting social media for 1 week and then post 8 hours later. Remember, Mark Hamill left X because he didn't want to support Leon's platform, so he went over to the echo chamber that is Blue Sky, you know, where he has a fraction of the followers, but it's an echo chamber. That's all it is. I mean, we're all guilty of going into our echo chambers where we get our news from, the people we listen to, the pundits, the people we follow. We're all guilty of it, but sometimes you just have to step outside of your echo chamber just a little bit. Well, Mark Hamill decided that, let's see here. I'll just start here. After the election, Hamill followed the trend of many Hollywood celebrities blaming X for the election of Donald Trump and Elon Musk by proxy. And he virtue signaled by saying he was going to leave X for Blue Sky. Saying, now that I've fled Leon's site for bluer skies, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I'm sure I'll be called an XX, but personally, I'll always consider myself a hashtag Twitter quitter. Ooh. After he announced the quitting of X, Mark Hamill showed he had no willpower to remain that way, posting within hours to his account, though he eventually did drop the site, having not posted as of this writing since November 6th of 2024. Yesterday, Mark Hamill announced he would be making new pointless protest on Blue Sky, where he has significantly oop, wrong button. Less followers and interaction. He said, from midnight tonight until next Saturday morning, there's no TV, no internet, no social media, no nothing for me. A symbolic protest is better than none at all. Hashtag 5-day blackout, which he had posted along with an all-black image, as you can see here. If he wasn't sad enough in posting this, a mere 8 hours later, he broke his own social media promise of a symbolic protest by posting. Making some ridiculous claim about justice coming. Justice is coming. Eventually. Hashtag Martin Luther King Day 2025. He posted this with an image with a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. and said, quietly endure, silently suffer, and patiently wait. It's both ironic that Hamill posts asking to silently suffer as he breaks his own vow of silence on social media within hours of claiming he was going to do it. On top of that social media irony, with the amount of pardons Joe Biden issued to people who haven't even been accused of crimes, talking about justice is a bizarre take as well. They still think Trump is guilty of something. One of his followers immediately falsely claimed that the 2024 election was rigged and stolen, saying, we all heard that guy admit out loud on stage twice yesterday that they cheated in the election, rigged it. We all heard that, correct? Surely you must be joking. Many might consider this election denialism to be a threat to democracy that Mark Hamill is encouraging by ranting about justice on a day like today. Fandom Pulse strongly disavows the questioning of free and fair elections like the one in 2024. So there you have it. Mark Hamill still can't help himself. Still not a movie star. There are very few movie stars around in my book today. Politics aside, I would say Harrison Ford is a movie star. Tom Cruise is definitely a movie star. But Mark Hamill, not a movie star. Going back to the beginning here, see if there's anything I missed. Man, the number of acts that came out for the inauguration. Rascal Flatts, they retired. Billy Ray Cyrus, Jewel, Nelly, Carrie Underwood, Kid Rock, Jason Aldean, Nelly. I said Nelly twice. Soulja Boy. I mean, it's just amazing. Sad Hollywood celebrities wallow in despair as Trump rides mandate back to power. Nothing to celebrate. It's sickening. Oh, yes, the usual trope. Jamie Lee Curtis, Babs, Barbara Streisand. I forget that guy's name, but oh, who is that? I forget his name. He was in Suits. He was in the Jack Ryan show on Amazon Prime. Wendell Pierce. I happen to like Wendell Pierce as an actor. Do I agree with him politically? Hell no. I think he's crazy politically. But the guy can act. I mean, I liked his role in Suits. I like that he played the James Earl Jones role in Jack Ryan. I mean, he pops up in these shows and he's good. So here we go. Hollywood celebrities were inconsolable as President Donald Trump was officially sworn in Monday for his second term in the White House, with stars expressing a wide spectrum of negative emotions, including rage, bitterness, snark, and despair. America's criminal presidency has begun, CBS's 2.5 Man star John Cryer declared. I got nothing. Nothing to celebrate. It's sickening. That was from Mia Farrow. Donald Trump assumes the presidency today. Maybe he could show some class and stop selling branded merchandise. Barbara Streisand snarked. I got no problem with him selling the merch. Keep it up. I got a Trump hat. It's in my closet. Haven't worn it yet. I got to get a dark MAGA hat, though. I got to get one of those. I went over the symbolic protest by Mark Hamill just a few minutes ago. As Breitbart News reported, President Trump took the oath of office at Monday's swearing-in ceremony in the Capitol Rotunda, promising to restore the golden age of the United States, which, by the way, we're in day 2 of. He promised to reverse the Biden administration's many ruinous policies, including open borders and spending billions of taxpayer dollars on foreign wars, while ordinary American citizens struggle to make ends meet. The golden age of America begins right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish. Went through all that already. Hollywood stars attempted about a show of resistance on Monday, many writing from the safety of blue sky, but their complaining felt perfunctory as they fell back on tired tropes like comparing Trump to Hitler, which failed to make much of an impact compared to their protestations 8 years ago. I already read John Cryer's tweet or post or blue, whatever they call it on Blue Sky. I already read Barbara Streisand's. Stephen King. That Biden should have to issue preemptive pardons for men and women who defended the Constitution is sad comment on Trump's vengeful nature. No, Stephen. Having to issue preemptive pardons for men and women who basically did a lot of wrongdoing and them admitting and accepting those pardons is an admitting of doing said wrongdoing. All right, spit that out. Judd Apatow. It's only the beginning. Dude, stop with the Hitler stuff. It's boring. It's tiring. A convicted felon who assaulted women did all he could to overthrow our 2020 elections. Lied that he had won, stole our country's nuclear secrets, lied about that, and showed them to foreign billionaires. Nothing to celebrate. It's sickening. TDS is strong with that one. A convicted felon who led a violent insurrection to overthrow the American government. Was anyone actually charged with insurrection? Anyone? Trump wasn't charged with insurrection. Where law enforcement was attacked and people lost their lives. He will immediately pardon many who were convicted of crimes on January 6th. I will not participate in revisionist history. Well, good. You don't have to. Just keep acting. Stick to that. Just stick to what you know, which is playing an adult pretender in Hollywood. Christopher Maloney, star of Law & Order SVU, and I forgot the other show that he's on that's Law & Order, called Trump an insurrectionist. Again, not charged with insurrection. Not charged or convicted of insurrection. Jamie Lee Curtis reposted a humorous meme expressing rage at Trump's inauguration. Kumail Nanjiani of Disney's The Eternals. The main project right now is a coordinated effort to take power away from people with expertise. Discounting the world of scientists, experts, and the rise of AI are all part of the same plan to strip power from people who are good at their jobs and centralize it up the chain. Then they control us. What? Hey, Kumail. I'm sure some of those writers who have written scripts for you in the last, I'll say, 5 to 6 years have been using AI to write some parts of their scripts for a while. Michael Ian Black says, so far I'm neither shocked nor awed. I am, however, very sad. You're sad. So, last thing that I'm going to talk about here. Oh, maybe not. The Denver mayor, who's been very outspoken against, very outspoken about fighting the Trump administration on the deportation of illegals. He's kind of having a change of heart a little bit. It says here he could reevaluate cooperation with ICE if requests. This is the same guy that said he'd go to jail to protect illegal immigrants or illegal aliens in the city of Denver. Last but not least, we had a little football game last night. Don't know what side of the fence you all are on. I really had no dog in the fight. In fact, I watched Notre Dame score the first touchdown. Ohio State scored immediately. Notre Dame failed to score in the next possession. Ohio State scored again, and I said, okay, this game's over. I'm done. I'm out. And turned out to be right. But Ohio State is your new national champion. They're the best college football team money could buy, with $20 million in NIL spent on the football team. So congratulations. I know there's going to be some reforms to NIL come this spring, which I think will hopefully help balance things out and keep these teams, I should say these universities and university supporters are spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on college students to play football, basketball, you name it. So congratulations to Ohio State. Like I said, I had no dog in the fight. Instead, what did I do? Well, I watched Monday Night Raw on Netflix. So there you go. That's all I got for today. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Tuesday, wonderful rest of the week. I will probably hop on my next live stream probably sometime on Thursday. You can catch me here on X. You can catch me on YouTube. You can catch me on Rumble. Those are the 3 platforms that I stream on. And I got to say thank you, YouTube, for restoring my stream from yesterday. 24 hours too late. I was streaming the inauguration, and YouTube decided to take my stream down. And I wasn't the only one it happened to. It happened to others. Well, there was other much larger accounts than mine that were able to do it without a problem. So, but thank you to YouTube for restoring my stream from yesterday, even though all the good stuff was missed. So thanks to everyone that has watched, whatever platform you're watching on. If you haven't watched it here live, catch it later, because there's a lot of neat tidbits in there. And as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so when my videos do drop, and I do drop videos daily, you won't miss one. And that also applies to the live streams too. So that's all I have for now, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their Tuesday.